All right, Shalom, it's your brother Shamar from the Phoenix camp. With that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the brothers who do his work in true sincerity. I'm jumping right into the scriptures, Ezekiel 37 and 15. It says, "The word of the Most High came again unto me, saying," it's talking about Ezekiel, the prophet Ezekiel. It says, "Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions, and take another stick, and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and all the house of Israel, his companions, and join them one to another into one stick. They shall become one in thine hand." So that's basically the 12 tribe sign, man. That's the 12 tribe sign that you see on the highways and hedges. That tells you who all the tribes are, man. From Judah being a so-called Negro to Issachar being the so-called Mexicans, the northern and southern kingdom. And this is prophecy that's being fulfilled because you look into that word stick. Let's get that word stick. It says tree, wood, timber, stock, plank, stock, stick, gallows, trees, wood, pieces of wood, gallows, firewood, cedar wood, woody flax, which is a plank, man. So basically a plank of wood, a flat board. Whether it's on cardboard or whether it's on a physical piece of wood, it's still a plank because what is that cardboard made out of, man? It's made from trees, which are wood, and that 12 tribe sign is imprinted upon, that stick. That's the stick that it's talking about, that plank. When that back again, and moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions, and take another stick, and write upon it for Joseph, stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions, and join them one to another into one stick. And like I said, that's a 12. That's a 12 tribe sign, and they shall become one in thine hand. So we have that, man. We have that 12 tribe sign. We have the explanation of the tribes, man. We have all the different characteristics broken down by the scriptures of who the tribes are. This is for the elect's sake. This is for the elect to come and question about. It says, verse 17, it says, "And join them one to another into one stick, they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee," and basically, whether we're children, it means sons. "And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, what wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these?" So that's basically how it works, man. You inquire, what's this all about? They'll say, "What's this all about?" Or even if you watch a video, you want to know what it's all about because you'll click on a video, you'll see the thumbnail of a video, you'll see a so-called black man or a so-called Hispanic man, or so-called, or you'll see both of them together, and you just see them wearing these garments, and people are intrigued about it. They want to know what it's about, man. They want to know what's going on here. Why are all these so-called black and Latino and Native American men on the highways and hedges across America and across the globe preaching, man? What's this all about? What kind of movement is this? It's a movement of the Most High, basically, and this is the fulfillment of this prophecy right here. And the stick in verse 20, verse 19, "Say unto them, Thus says the Most High Power, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and I will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand." Because the Lord's just joining them together, joining the tribes back together, man. "And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thy hand before thine eyes." So that's what that 12 tribe sign is, because that's prophecy, man. That's prophecy of the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom joining forces, so to speak, under the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Instead, I'm going to get Isaiah 11 and 13. Because ultimately, the Lord's going to give those men, spiritual powers. He's going to give them power. We have power right now, preaching this word. But it's going to be great powers to come. It's Isaiah 11 and 13. And it says, I'll start at verse 12. It says that he shall set up an ensign for the nations and assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So these men from the northern and southern kingdom, because that's what it means. Israel, outcasts of Israel, representative of the northern kingdom, and gather together the dispersed of Judah, which is representative of the southern kingdom. The northern kingdom being the Latino and so-called Latino and indigenous peoples or Native American tribes, and Judah being the so-called black tribes, man, the so-called Negroes, starting with the, Judah, Levi, and and so on and so forth, the black tribes, man. Verse 13 said, the envy of also of Ephraim, and that's representing the northern kingdom, shall depart, and the adversary of Judah, representing the southern kingdom, shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim, because that's part of the curses, man. Part of the curses that there was a split, a long time ago, of the northern and southern kingdom, and that's also part of the curse today. That's why you'll see blacks and Latinos. Sometimes they'll unite forces, but there's a lot of times where they're contrary one to another. Whether it be in the prison system or in street gangs or just different neighborhoods, you'll see them from time to time collide with one another, man, because that's part of the curse. The curse says that you shall have an evil eye toward your brother. Let me go ahead and get that. It's a lot. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 54, and these are part of the curses. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, let's get that word delicate, refined. So back in those times we had manners and courtesy toward each other. But part of those curses that we weren't going to have that anymore. We weren't going to have that integrity amongst each other, that courtesy among each other, that's that right spirit towards one another, man. Let's get that word again. Oh, the delicate salak. It says dainty, delicate. Well, this definition is more better. Refined, that refined. So what's from refined, that means it's in a dignified manner. So we treat each other in a very dignified manner. It says, so the man that is tender among you, among who are people, and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. And that's part of the curses, man. That's why the so-called Latino and so-called black homes are fatherless. That's part of the curses, man. That's not by mistake. That's a curse that the Most High put upon the nation of Israel. And that evil eye towards his brother, that's part of the curses too. Even within the nations, there's an evil eye, man. Like I said, man, going to, you live in these neighborhoods, these barrios, these ghettos, and you have so-called black on black crime and brown on brown crime, like they like to call it. You have Latinos killing each other, blacks killing each other. You have this gang bullshit. What's over there in California? You got the norteños and the sureños. And also you got the Bloods and the Crips. And that's throughout the nation too, man. You have black people killing black people. You have brown people killing brown people. And you have brown people killing black people, black killing brown people, vice versa, man. That's the evil eye towards your brother. But through the spirit and under the power, under of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the so-called black, Latino, and Native American man, are joining forces or being gathered together, to preach this word, because that's part of the tabernacle of David, man. Instead, I'm gonna get a Slakia. So I'm gonna get Jeremiah 3 and 18. This is Jeremiah 3 and 18, and it says, in those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel. So that's once again Judah being the southern kingdom, the so-called black, the so-called Negro tribes, and Israel being the so-called Native American Latino tribes. They shall come together. So that's what the Lord's doing, man. Just like in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, he said they're going to join together into one stick. Shall be one stick in my hand. The Lord's combining those together under the hand of the Most High. The Lord's joining those two kingdoms together, the northern and southern kingdom. In those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers, our forefathers, man. So we're going to be put back in our glory. The Lord's going to do that for us. I said I'm going to get Jeremiah, I think it's 5 and 8. Let's see if it's the one. No, that ain't it, Salakia. Salakia was Jeremiah 5 and 5. It says, I will get me unto the great men. So those men that are going to be gathered together, the northern and southern kingdom, they're going to be great men. because they're going to speak the words of the Most High. That's gonna make them a great. We are a great people to begin with, but when the Lord put the Spirit upon you to preach His word, that makes you great in a sense, man. Although we still humble. It's like you get the word great. Let's see what this says here. It says great of extent, amount, and intensify considerably above the normal or average. So yeah, those men that preach out there in the highways and hedges, the men of the Lord, they are above the normal. They're above the average, because you have to be above average to walk this path, man. You have to be above average, and the Lord had to put a spirit upon you to be above average, man. The things that you got to go through in this truth. A so-called normal man can't hack it. The hell that you got to catch in this truth, the things that we experience in this truth, it's only for above average men, and we say that humbly, but that's what it is. You got to have a certain spirit upon you, and it's not ourselves that make us above average. It's the Most High. It's the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that makes us above the normal or above the average. To get definition 2 of ability, quality, of eminence considerably above the normal or average. An important or distinguished persons, so that's what it is. Excellent, very well. Because the spirit got to be upon you, man. The spirit is what makes us above average. The spirit what makes us of eminence considerably above the normal average, man. So a higher standard of man is what you are when you come into this truth, or you should be. If you're not that higher standard, man, because we put off the old man, and that old man was he was below average, man. He was living on the very basics of a human instinct. He was operating off animal like instinct, but basically on the carnal nature, the natural man. Because we put off the old man, so putting on the spiritual man makes us above average or makes us great. Instead, I'm going to read that back again. Jeremiah 5:5 says, I will get unto the great men, I will get me unto the great men, and I will speak unto them, for they have known the way of the Most High, and the judgment of their power, but these have altogether broken the yoke and burst the bonds, man. So, so the Lord's going to allow them to break those bonds of the mental slavery, man, those mental yokes upon us, where we thought we were niggers and spics. We thought we were Chicanos. We thought we were black, black and proud, brown and proud. Those bywords that we like to call ourselves at one time. We have broken that, man, and we don't see ourselves as those bywords anymore. We see ourselves as Hebrew Israelites. So with that, I'm gonna get up Amos 9 and 11. It's a real quick lesson. Because it's a beautiful thing to see. Even the scriptures say that it's a beautiful thing for brothers for the brotherhood of the North Southern Kingdom to get together. I'm gonna go ahead and find that scripture. See if I can find it. It's in the book of Psalms. Salak. This is Psalms 133 and 1, and it says a song of degrees of David. It says, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." That's the joining together of those two sticks, the northern and southern kingdom. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountain of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. So it's a very pleasant thing, man. It's very pleasing to the Most High. And we brought up to another lesson, you shall know that you are my servants if you love one another. Basically, roughly paraphrasing, that what Yahweh Shai says, is that unity, man. That brethren dwelling together, the northern and southern kingdom, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, being under their power again. Our power being the Heavenly Father. With that, I'm going to get Amos 9 and 11. It's Amos 9 and 11. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that has fallen, and close the breaches thereof. So that's talking about unification. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom. So we're going to be put back into our glory. This white man is not going to be over us anymore. We are going to be over them. I'll praise Yahweh Shem Shai for that. And of all the heathen, not only the Edomites, but all the other nations. which are called by my name, says the Most High, that doeth this, man. So that's what we're waiting for, man. So it's a very beautiful time to live in, and we understand all the things that are going on and all the problems that are being fulfilled. And but we also, this is a time of rejoicing, man. We know that there's gonna be hell to catch, there's gonna be Jacob's trouble to endure, but we understand that the Lord's gonna be with us through all of it, and that's why we just gotta have faith, man. With that being said, just a real quick lesson. Most High wouldn't hope it was edifying. With that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Brothers, keep on pushing. Shalom.